Hi, it's Mandy, and we're in the month of June shooting the Mayesh Design Star video. We're going to create the largest arrangement we've made yet. We're going to fill a sanctuary with lots and lots of premium Mayesh flowers. It's prime wedding season, and for all those brides that we have who love that white and ivory palette, the true wedding colors, this year in 2012 we've seen them infuse just a hint of color into their palette. A lot of times we've seen these beautiful light peaches come into play, these gorgeous, and when I say gorgeous, I mean gorgeous, Café Au Lait Dahlias from Mayesh are stunning. They are almost a dinner plate size dahlia. Beautiful for this color palette. To pair with that, we've chosen the Mr. Ed Peonies. These beautiful, full, huge peonies. They have opened up gorgeous since I've had them in the studio. The tall line flower that I'm going to be using today in our arrangement is the Eremurus. And it has a little bit of that peach infused color as well. So you can kind of see our color palette developing. We brought in some of this spirea, which is also known as Bridal Veil. Very abundant this time of year. Prime season in the months of May and June and into the early part of July. And then one of my favorite little details of this month is the special that we have for the Stephanotis on a vine. Now usually we get Stephanotis in the plastic little packages and it's very, very delicate, but how much fun is this? So we're going to add this into our arrangement as our final touch. For our church arrangement, I chose these two containers from Accent Decor. They're the ellipsis containers. They come in 3 different sizes. I've chosen the largest size and the smallest size. We're going to create a large arrangement in this one, and then a small little simple buddy or pairing arrangement in this second one. Just for a little hint to be a little different. For our first flower insertion, we're going to put in the Eremurus. This beautiful, tall line flower. We're simply just going to go straight down through the center of our container and create more of a modern fan shape. We're going to mimic the style of the container, the opening width. This is going to give us our line and let us see the shape of our overall container. Now I know growing up in the wedding world, people always like to do the big traditional church arrangements. This I would suggest in place of that. A lot of times people want that large show in the front of the church, and this will definitely give it to you with this perfect line flower. We're going to add in a double layer in here to make it a little bit thicker and bring our color palette down to our next layer of flowers. Now that we've placed all of our Eremurus in the perfect position, we're going to introduce the Bridal Veil into our arrangement. This is a long, linear filler flower that's abundant this time of year. We're simply going to place it in and let it have that nice flow outside of our container to sort of bring the eye out. When I got this flower shipped in, it was very tight, and once I put it in water, it was amazing just to watch it bloom. Beautiful, beautiful filler flower. We're simply going to add these just on the edges, just to bring your eye out, because we're going to put the peonies and the beautiful dahlias right into the center and let them be the superstars of this arrangement. Now that we've finished placing in our bridal veil, next we're going to use these gorgeous Café Au Lait Dahlias. I left them on the stem just to give a little bit of height in our arrangement. And I left a little growth on them as well, just for a little bit of added texture and color into our arrangement. You can see that gorgeous color palette blending together at this point. I'm going to stick them in at a couple of different heights to add a little bit of variation. And sometimes you have to manipulate them so that you cut off any little extra strays that are going in different directions, because you want to keep it very manicured. To look a little haphazard, but to really be in the perfect place that you want it to go. Now that we've got our beautiful Café Au Lait Dahlias in place, we're going to add in these Mr. Ed Peonies. It's a great size. We're just going to keep it right here low, tucked close to the base of our container, which is also close to our water source, because we're putting this all in wet foam for transport, for easy transport. We're just going to tuck them in for a little bit of texture at different levels. Make sure some of them kind of come over the lip of the ellipsis container a little bit. These are very garden flowers, so you want to make sure that they also look appropriate for the style that you're making. Now for our finishing touch, the Stephanotis on a vine. We're simply going to place our Stephanotis in through the arrangement, kind of weave it in like it's almost growing really naturally. I'm going to come through the back of the arrangement to insert it into the floral foam and let a few pieces just intermingle and intertwine in between our existing flower placements. Very delicately going through the garden flowers. It's going to give it just that little hint of a whimsical feel, very garden-esque. Kind of weave it around just like it would be growing. This is definitely going to give your arrangement a lot of dimension and texture as well. I just simply created this complementary arrangement. Some people call it a pairing arrangement or just something simple as a buddy arrangement. It'll be great in the front of the sanctuary to complement the larger arrangement that we just created, or you can introduce your color palette and these beautiful Café Au Lait Dahlias once people walk through the front doors at the sign-in table. And you can also create that finishing touch by adding a few complementary candles to the arrangement. It definitely gives it the perfect color palette pairing.